Morticians wearing masks pushed a blue casket out of the Andrew Cleckley Funeral Home to a waiting hearse. The afternoon after, state health officials and cops found dozens and dozens of corpses stacked on top of each other in U-Haul trucks.
We are investigating that funeral home. There were no complaints about that funeral home to the Department of Health in the past.
There are definitely health concerns with it as to the decomposition. You've got the potential for vermin.
But what about community contamination? Dr. Kenneth Balby, an environmental expert, cited an Italian study that said COVID-19 could potentially cling to smog. People who smelled a foul odor coming from the trucks on Utica Avenue also noticed fluids leaking. Pix 11 spoke to a prominent funeral director in Queens about the hazards his morticians face.
What we are concerned about is the virus. We don't know enough about it. We are assuming that the virus is still active on the deceased body.
Neufeld's workers sprayed bodies with disinfectant and double-bagged them. But he understands how overwhelmed the Cleckley Funeral Home likely got.
Probably got very inundated. He probably doesn't have enough staff, and he kept bringing bodies in. There's only one crematory in Brooklyn and one in the Bronx. They cannot physically handle the volume of deaths that is going on.
Pix 11 tried to call Andrew Cleckley, but the voicemail wasn't taking messages. We learned that the Department of Environmental Protection issued 2 summonses to the home, and the Department of Health filed an incident report. We found a distraught Demisha Covington on Utica Avenue. Her mother's remains have been here 3 weeks.
Her body's been here since April 9th, and they charged me $15,000 to bury my mother. A closed casket, no funeral.
Funeral director Joe Neufeld is handling 80 victims this week in Queens, and he noted his colleagues have been under pressure to remove bodies from hospital morgues and were threatened that COVID-19 victims could end up in a mass grave on Hart Island if they didn't move fast enough. But the funeral directors had a response for the city early this month.
We're working 24/7. They're working 8 to 5, banker's hours.
To assist the overburdened funeral homes, every week, a professor from SUNY Canton upstate drives 6 hours with his students to pick up bodies here in New York City and deliver them to crematories. Not a pleasant task, but one that is crucial at this point in the pandemic. On Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, I'm Mary Murphy, Pix 11 News.